We are 40 days past the Jimmy Butler trade where the Heat sent off Jimmy, and a lot of Heat fans were ecstatic. A lot of Heat culture felt fortified with the move. We brought back Andrew Wiggins, an NBA champion. You get Davion Mitchell. You get a first-rounder from the Warriors. You also get Kyle Anderson, slow-mo. That's fun. That's cute. That'll be a nice scene at Kaseya Center. I think it's due time that we actually do reflect back and see how this has gone for both parties. So for the Miami Heat, last night at Madison Square Garden, against the New York Knicks team that obviously has the Heat out-talented, outmatched, it wasn't really a fight. I mean, I think the Heat actually started off up 12-zip early in the first quarter, and then the Knicks come pouring it on back. Karl Anthony Towns went on like a 15-0 run all by himself, and from there on, like it has been for the past month and some change, it was all Knicks, and it was no go, no show, no motion at all from the Miami Heat. They lost their 8th straight game last night, and I know the big headline and the funny ha-ha moment was the Tracy Morgan, comedian Tracy Morgan hurling onto the court. It caused like a 10-minute delay as he just kind of let it all out. He said it was some kind of food poisoning or something.
Yeah. And the article that I actually got, I found out about this because I was not watching that game last night.
It's nothing to see there.
Tracy Morgan okay after health scare at Heat Knicks game.
So the thing about that is Tracy Morgan obviously had been going through some, health complications and whatnot. I believe he was like a kidney transplant or something like that recently. So my first thought when I saw all of this was a lot of concern. And then when I saw him see food poisoning, I immediately thought, courtside, Knicks game, quote unquote food poisoning. I know what happened.
You're just kind of
I know it's
off.
good there.
I mean, that's a nice little ace up your sleeve whenever. If you've gone through some horrible health things, it's a health scare.
Yeah.
I'm not hungover. It's a health scare.
Not hungover at all. So, again, if it was, best wishes to my guy. Get well soon. It also could have just been him having to watch the Miami Heat in the second half, which is vomit-inducing, especially if you're somebody who wishes well on this team. The Heat have dropped 8 straight. That's the longest skid in Eric Spoelstra's run as a head coach in Miami. They also, I think, outscored 41-15 in the third quarter. They've just been lethargic in second halves. They've gotten blown out in fourth quarters. Even when they're in the game or leading, it always feels inevitable that they're going to end up dropping it. So, C-Cat, the destiny for this Heat team this year, it feels locked in on entering the postseason in the 10 spot, which would be in the play-in, and having a road game likely against the Chicago Bulls for the right to play in the 7-8 game. I'll start with this. For the second straight year, am rooting against the Heat making it into the playoffs. There's really no shot of them actually falling out of the play-in. It feels like they would have to get caught by the Raptors right now, the Toronto Raptors, who in the East are actively tanking, and they are looking for a lottery pick, just like we would like the Heat to get one as well. So I don't see them kind of picking up steam. It's going to be a real lethargic roll to a finish here for Miami as they enter the play-in and hopefully lose and hopefully get a better pick. That's not really what I want to talk about here today. What I really want to talk about is the other side of the trade, because as Miami has been absolutely abysmal, as Miami has failed to find a way to score the basketball consistently, and the defense has been decent, but the offense has been, anemic. Out in the Bay, I know last night didn't go the way, in the way of the Warriors, but out in the Bay, Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry have seemed to be a match made in heaven. And for the 18th straight time, the franchise that gives up on Jimmy ends up looking like the idiotic one, because the franchise that acquired him is soaring to heights that they did not see before. The Golden State Warriors don't look now, but the Golden State Warriors are a legitimate threat to come out of the Western Conference, and this is a stacked West in the NBA. I really do feel like the addition of Jimmy Butler, not only has it brought a new level of playmaking to that offense for Steph Curry and Draymond Green, not only has it brought a new level of defensive intensity and leadership, but also it brings a belief that Curry at 37 years old can do the unthinkable and win a 5th ring and go on another run that we did not predict. Remember 2021 when the Warriors out of absolutely nowhere, they make that run and win a champion? We're like, whoa, it's not over yet?
Yeah, that was the last Patriots championship we thought was like out of nowhere. Wait a second, something was special there, and no one saw that coming. We were writing books about the Warriors dynasty as if it was posthumously.
It happened already, posthumously.
Yeah, that too.
You made it sound like it was like humorous, not post-life.
Oh, yeah. I guess I've only written or read that word. I've never said it out loud.
It's always weird. It's always fun when you stumble across one of those. Like, that happens to me all the damn time, and I'll say something so confidently as well, and people are like, yeah, that's absolutely not what you meant. I think the last time that happened to me, I wish I could remember it. It was one of these words. I think it was like enigmatic or something like that. I forget, but it was embarrassing. Either way, going back to this Warriors run right now, they're 14-2 since they've acquired Jimmy. Since the trade deadline and games that Jimmy Butler has played in, the Warriors are 14-2. Last night, it was a really weird weekend in general for the NBA. Teams that were streaking, they all lost. And not only did they lose, C-Cat, they lost to these like downtrodden teams resting players. The Warriors played the Nuggets last night. And obviously the Nuggets are a really good Western Conference foe. They're one of the tops in the conference. They're another team that could come out. They played the Nuggets not only without Jamal Murray, not only without Christian Brown, but also without Nikola Jokic, C-Cat. The leading scorer for the Nuggets last night dropped 38, and it was Aaron Gordon. Russell Westbrook had a throwback triple-double against the Warriors last night, and somehow what it felt like to be a slowed-up Steph Curry, a little bit tired legs. I think he went 4 for 14 from 3. The Warriors were shocked in a loss against a shorthanded Nuggets team. Notwithstanding, right? Like, I just take that and blow it out. Like, I don't want to see that. The Golden State Warriors still have one of the preeminent teams in the league right now, a top 10 defensive team, a guy like Curry who can drop 28, 30 any given night. That is going to be another threat coming out of the West. And stop me if you've heard this before, but I just feel like there's so many actual squads out West that I can see winning a title, and really there's only like 1 or 2 in the East. So we're gonna have like 18 clips on YouTube of me saying, "Hey, this Western Conference team is a true title contender. Throw it on the books right now." I feel like an idiot at this point. I just did this with Lakers like 2 weeks ago.
So, like, of the teams that are right now in the playoff picture of the West, who are you saying is a paper tiger? Like, is not all they're cracked up to be? Is a 2 seed that really deserve to be it?
The Rockets are the 2 seeds right now, and the Rockets are not. The Rockets are going to be, especially depending on who they draw. That's going to be one of those situations where, you know how like in March Madness, as we're getting ready to fill out brackets, and everybody always hovers and gravitates towards a certain like 5-12, that'll be the Rockets. Yeah, it would be a lot of people picking the 7.
Yeah, well, right now the 7 is the Minnesota Timberwolves, of course, the play-in tournament notwithstanding. Yeah. So we'll see how that actually shakes up. But that'd be a very popular tip.
Give me the Wolves.
If it's Minnesota versus Houston, you'll almost see like the ESPN FPI predictor be at like 60-40 for the 7 seed, if not worse.
Yeah, the T-Wolves will be favored in that series. Most analysts and pundits will pick them outside of the state of Texas. And I do just, again, that's the other, like, I don't want to be a guy who is who's acting as if I am a fan of some of these other teams. But if you're going to enjoy the back end of the NBA stretch, and this is when it gets the most compelling, this is when it's most enjoyable, I do like to, this time of the year, when I realize that my team, the Miami Heat, are literally done. They're out of it. They're 10 games back of 500. Even at their best, they wouldn't stand a shot in the first round against anybody they would get matched up against. So I'm hoping for a lottery pick. I'm hoping for maybe, you get lucky. You get a frozen envelope situation or something, and here comes Cooper Flag, like fingers crossed. So I'm scrapping any Heat games from my purview going forward this year. And as I do, I can't help but feel myself internally rooting for Jimmy Butler and the Golden State Warriors to make a push for a title this year. Like, I'm absolutely like, I feel like a pseudo fan of the Warriors, and it feels sacrilegious because I'm supposed to hate Jimmy Butler because he left the Heat in a very unceremonious way. But how the hell can I actually hate a dude who gave us, for the past 5 years, so much hope, so much optimism, so many great playoff moments, and honestly, that was the last time the Heat and Heat culture was on life support.